got to kick it off with a killer to grab attention. Then you got to take it up a notch.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us.
Who are you? I'm Shiva, the god of death.
Cells. Interlinked.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
Folks, welcome to Debaser, a film podcast. I'm Jared Rusk, and I'm joined by my co-host, Will.
Palm.
On this show, we explore both new and familiar movies as we attempt to analyze and interpret them, all in an effort to debase the films and ourselves. And today, we are shifting gears from last week's Martyrs to something with a little more brevity.
Lightheartedness.
Yes.
Family values.
Yeah, actually, you know what? You're right.
I am right.
It does circle back on that.
Yes.
It is honestly, yeah, we had a conversation about this off mic, but it is surprising. You were like, it's not a horror film.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you're right. It's just horror adjacent.
It is horror adjacent, but I think it still fits. And I think it's definitely well worth the watch if you're doing scary movies in October.
Yeah, because it doesn't feel out of place. And it is a Shudder original, too.
Oh, no shit. Shudder funded this? I did not know that.
Their production logo shows before the film. Yeah.
I didn't.
You thought maybe it was inserted by the service, or
yeah. I did. I honestly did, actually.
Yeah. Well, the film we're covering today is called One Cut of the Dead, and yes, that is a pun in the title, because we'll get to it. I'll save it. The film was released in 2017, and it is available to watch on Shudder and AMC Plus.
I was like, just Shudder?
It's also on AMC Plus, but I think...
Oh, I think another reason why.
Yeah.
I want to say that Shudder might be like a subsidiary of AMC.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
Because I want to say they do the horror movie marathons, and they have... I want to say his name is Bob? Or is it Bubba? There's a guy who's from Texas that like dresses up like a cowboy.
Oh,
who hosts horror movies.
Okay, yeah.
And I want to say that those are shown on AMC as well as on Shudder. He's on
that
Shudder.
Would make sense because Shudder does feel like it has a richer parent company to be able to afford its library. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude.
But it is like a boutique streaming service at the same time.
Yeah, I've heard multiple accounts of, yeah, I went to go, cancel my Shudder subscription, and they gave me 6 months for free.
Yes, they do. They do this.
Yeah,
I know firsthand because I signed up my mother a few years ago.
Every year, me and Haley dump at least 2 months worth of subscription into it to watch Dragula.
Yeah,
because we love our drag queen horror
adjacent.
Yeah, I don't understand
shows.
Like, I needed that itch to be scratched, but it does.
Right. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But
yeah, this is a Shudder original. I had no idea.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I own the Blu-ray, and it has the Shudder logo on the
cool.
disc and the case. Yeah.
I think that's neat.
Yeah. The film stars Takayuki Hamatsu. Takayuki Hamatsu.
That does indeed sound exactly the way you're supposed to say it. Good job, Jared.
Beautiful. I'm learning.
You are learning
to enunciate Japanese.
This is true.
As the the film stars Takayuki Hamatsu as the director, Yuzuki Akiyama as Chinatsu, and Harumi Shuhama as Nao. I'm going to say Tak for the director.
That's fine.
Chinatsu for Chinatsu, the character of Chinatsu, and Nao for the character of Nao.
There you go.
And Ko or Kin for Ko or Kin. He's called both. I'm not sure if one is... Well, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
So the brief synopsis of this film is, things go badly for a hack director and film crew shooting a low-budget zombie movie in an abandoned World War II Japanese facility when they are attacked by real zombies. Or so we think.
The "so we think" is the key part of that description, I think.
Well, Will, I love that you said that because I added that to the official synopsis myself.
Thank you so much because
it's misleading.
But I think that's on purpose.
But I want to make it mysterious.
Yeah, well,
I added the "so we think" because I'm like, you're only describing. Well,
maybe
we'll get to
maybe Shudder should hire you to write the synopsis.
Shudder, get me in there, baby.
Put me in. Coach.
I am a beautiful technical writer, a UI writer.
I can edit.
Get me in there, baby. I can do customer service, on like, say you're backed up. Let me get in there. Let me send those emails.
The director, writer, producer, editor. Okay, sorry. So directed by Shinichiro Ueda, who also co-wrote this film with Ryoichi Wada.
Damn.
Easy.
Masterfully done.
Easy. You gotta watch more anime, bro.
Nope. I only watch dubs. The film's budget was $25,000 US.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you were telling me about
I converted that to US dollars from 3 million yen.
Yeah.
That's still 2017, Will.
It's dirt.
$25,000.
Dirt fucking cheap.
Kevin Smith made Clerks in 1993 for like $27,500.
You didn't by chance do the calculator, did you? The inflation calculator?
Oh, with inflation, it's like $100,000.
Okay.
It's something insane.
Yeah.
Which, what the fuck?
That's crazy.
But
you can tell.
well, yes,
Yeah.
yes, and there's another fact coming up that that might shed light onto why that number is so low.
Okay.
The film grossed over $31.2 million worldwide.
Oh my fucking God. Are you serious?
Yeah, it was a huge success.
I hope everybody involved benefited wildly from that.
I also hope so. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
we
can't
have no
speak
idea.
to it.
Yeah.
However, there's been multiple sequels.
Oh, has it really?
Yes, and I don't know if any of them are any good.
I'm sure they're not.
But there was one made like in the dead of the pandemic. Well, not a good phrasing. I'm sorry. Like right, like in the onset of the pandemic, like things were really shut down.
Yeah.
They kind of made a version online where they wanted people to like film themselves at home and submit the footage, and they like cut it all together.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was like made with people like on Zoom or whatever.
Yeah.
Like just filming themselves so that people didn't have to go and like, obviously like it was unsafe to do so, like be in a crowded area filming yourselves.
Right.
So One Cut of the Dead was a hit in Japan and abroad with both critics and audiences alike. IndieWire film critic David Elric wrote that the film is so heartfelt and hilarious that it's easy to forgive the contrivances that hold it together and to overlook how transparently Ueda reverse engineers most of his best gags. Seemingly unimportant details in the film's sluggish middle section blossom into killer jokes some 30 minutes later. Now, here's the factoid I wanted to drop. Most of the cast actually paid to be in this film.
Oh.
The film was the final product of a filmmaking workshop called ENBU Seminar, which is listed as one of the production companies on the film.
Okay.
So that's why I think it was done so cheaply. It was a
people paid to
product of a workshop, a learning seminar to make a movie, and it was adapted from a play.
So hold on. Did the actors pay to be there, or was it just like the people behind the cameras and stuff?
I believe both.
Oh shit!
And maybe not everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that the writer and director, like, I believe he was trying to self-finance this film.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was I don't know too much about this ENBU seminar company. But it was a workshop, like you can sign up to do something and they teach you how to do something. And then there's a finished product at the end, or like, and you get like a certificate.
That's cool.
But it was this movie, and it was so successful that they decided to release it as a real film. And it made gangbusters.
I hope those people got their entry fee back and then some.
I agree. I hope that they had, points, if you will, where they get like, what are the writers fighting for right now? Checks.
Oh, residuals.
Residuals. Thank you. I could not remember residuals. I hope they got residuals or something.
Something, yeah.
But if nothing else, at least maybe they went on to be able to put on their credits, hey, I worked on this very successful movie, so you can hire me.
$32 million.
Because there's a lot of nobodies in this film. And I believe only the actress that plays Chinatsu, Yuzuki Akiyama, went on to be in bigger budget films.
Yeah.
She's the only one that has a hyperlink anyway when you go onto her pages. And also, the first 37 minutes of the film are an actual single take. It took 2 days and 6 entire takes to get it.
I was actually curious because, like, not to get into like details of the film, but I was curious if they actually did try to do it 42 times or 43 times.
No, just 6.
Just 6. Well, that's fantastic.
For 37 minutes, and I don't know how many of those were cut short, and if they just did it all the way through and just were like, let's keep going,
But also I wasn't sure if they were doing like how you say clever camera tricks.
Exactly. That's what I assumed. But I learned after the fact, no, actually, they just kept going. In fact, there's a scene where they wipe blood off the camera lens.
Yes.
That's not
a clever trick.
That's not done in post. That was really the camera guy wiping the lens.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's actually really awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to do a brief summary.
Yeah.
So the film opens with a filming of a low-budget zombie film. After an amateurish take, the frustrated director, Takayuki, physically and verbally berates the lead actor and actress of the film, Chinatsu and Ken, for their poor performances. The makeup artist now interferes and forces the cast and crew to take a break. The lead actors and makeup artist spend time chatting during the break and eventually learn that the shooting location is rumored to have been used in human experimentation during World War II. The director barges in and admits that he has had the crew paint a pentagram on the roof of the building in order to summon real zombies to enhance the performances in the film. Members of the crew become zombified and begin attacking Ko, Chinatsu, and Nao, who fight together to survive. The director repeatedly interrupts to facilitate zombie attacks against the actors while excitedly filming the unfolding drama.
And going, action!
It's every time he pops up, it's
so
great.
good.
Now, convinced Chinatsu has been bitten by a zombie, attempts to kill Chinatsu to prevent her from turning. Ko is eventually forced to kill Nao, terrifying Chinatsu, who runs away. Eventually, Chinatsu returns to Ko on the roof of the building, only to find that he now is a zombie, and she is forced to kill Ko, in a scene similar to the opening film within a film scene from the opening. Having filmed this confrontation, the director berates Chinatsu for going off script, and Chinatsu chops him up with her axe. Covered in blood from her encounters, Chinatsu walks over to a large pentagram painted in blood. She stands in the center and looks up in disbelief as the camera rises and the credits roll, followed by an unseen director yelling, "Cut."
And that was One Cut of the Dead, guys. So what'd you think? Would you recommend this movie?
So I'm not going to lie. I watched this movie for the first time this weekend. And as these credits started to roll, about 30 minutes into the movie, Courtney, my wife, goes, "Oh, was this a short?" And I went, "I don't think so.
Yeah,
I thought it was a feature-length movie." And so I pull up the menu bar and I see that the slider is only about a third of the way done.
Yep.
And I go, "Oh, is this an anthology movie? What's happening here?" Well, we get a title card that comes up and reads 1 month earlier. And it is revealed that the preceding 30 minutes were a film within a film within a film. And we see the production of One Cut of the Dead coming together by a studio looking to launch its low-budget zombie-focused channel with a live single-cut film. This meta second act of the film depicts the director, Tak, a hack director that is used to making compromises to shoot various low-quality productions, as well as his wife, a retired actress, and daughter, an aspiring director, as they put together a ragtag cast and crew to make One Cut of the Dead. The third act of the film depicts the various trials and tribulations that occur during filming, and how passion for art and filmmaking inspire the cast and crew to do the impossible and produce the finished product we've witnessed in the first act. It is surprisingly heartwarming, too.
And charming.
And incredibly charming.
Yeah.
I love so much how this movie is kind of like a neat little puzzle.
Yes.
The first 37 minutes are this amateurish movie.
Agonizingly amateurish.
By the point that Nao has decided she's going to kill Chinatsu,
yeah,
I was like, okay, I'm enjoying this. Like, it's fun. But the first 15-ish, 20 minutes, I remember thinking, like, this is rough. We might have to do our backup selection.
Yeah, we did have a backup movie in case this movie sucked because
And
neither of us had seen this.
We will cover it eventually.
Oh, you think?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
No, it's on the docket.
Cool. Good.
But I was concerned. I was like, oh no, I may have suggested a bad movie. Like, I don't know why I was led astray on this movie. Like, I remember getting high praise. Like, I bought the Blu-ray.
Yeah, I'd heard it was good too.
Yeah.
But
And I was like, I don't know if it's like a cultural barrier, like if I'm just misunderstanding, but I was like, it feels like these actors are struggling to like remember their lines, to like kind of kill time, to find their blocking.
yeah,
And when it's revealed that that is all intentional, God damn it.
it was good.
I was so impressed.
I will say, so, I did text you while I was watching it because I hadn't gotten to the 37-minute mark.
Right. And I left you on red.
Yes,
I
you
did
did.
not want to respond.
Yes, you did. I texted you and I was like, all right, here's my summary of this movie. And then I typed in all caps, I'm acting, with an exclamation point. Because a lot of what's going on in this film is screaming lines.
Yeah.
And I will say, from what I have learned from speaking a little bit of Japanese, is that the way with the level of volume that you say something is helps with the like intonation. There's a difference between saying onigai, which is please, like onigai, is a very how you say like a polite please versus onigai, which is like I need this now, please, hurry up.
It's more demanding almost.
Yeah, exactly. Like so when you're
I didn't know this.
when you're telling somebody to perish, to die, you shout shine to them. But anyways, so like I assumed because they were supposed to be in peril, it was just going to be a lot of screaming and shouting and all that other shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm not kidding you, man. The first 30 minutes of this movie, I was almost tuned the fuck out. My notes, I wrote down a bunch of notes for Martyrs, right? For this, I only wrote down a couple of Japanese phrases: onigai, yamate, pom, and kudasai, because that's a lot of what they were saying. But once the film, quote unquote, ends and we finally understand what's going on, I found this movie to be really, like I said, charming, fun. Yeah, a real fun watch. It had a couple of cute moments of like trying to do better than what's being asked of you for the love of the art.
And I feel like that is the point of this movie.
Yeah,
and that's, you said it was charming.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
I was so like, this is why I take pride in my work, even when like I know it's maybe it doesn't have the best ends. It's like, no, you take pride in it because you want to do it, and everyone's here making this movie because they want to make movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, that's why they're like, yeah, maybe this zombie movie was a bad idea. Maybe the script isn't that great, but God damn it, we're making it.
We're making this.
So let's make
movie.
Let's make the fucking shit out of this movie.
Yeah. I liked the relationship between the dad and the daughter, and like the parallels between him and one of the actors who deals with alcoholism.
Yes. I love that relationship. I think, doesn't the daughter refer to him as like uncle or grandfather at one point too?
I think so.
Because I imagine he's been friends with the director for so long that he's kind of a family friend too.
Yeah, I think they do work with each other quite a bit.
Right.
And then like even with the way that the movie ends with them making a human pyramid.
Yes. Because they're all basically coming together because they've broken the crane, so they can't do the final crane shot over the pentagram.
So they make a human pyramid, and on top of it is the director holding his daughter, holding the camera to make it the correct height.
And then I love the parallel of someone's taking a picture of him holding up, his daughter.
His daughter, yeah.
And then he also has a little Polaroid of when she was very little, and he's got her, he's holding her up on his shoulders
with a little camera.
It mirrors, and it's such a beautiful parallel, and you just get a cute, like, face, God, what's it called when the camera focuses on one person's face and then does a 180-degree shot of the other person's face?
Fuck if I know, bro. I have no idea what that is.
I forgot what it's called.
Sorry, I didn't take films class in college.
I'm not trying to you make me feel so bad because I'm trying to use like real film terms.
I just like fucking with you, man.
I'm gonna bust out my textbook and just start dryly
shit.
reading things out to you. Anyway, we just get a quick close up of the director smiling and kind of sheepishly looking at his daughter, and then she's doing the same thing because they had a great bonding experience making this movie.
And she was having issues with her projects.
So in the second act, we see that she's trying to break out into film herself by I guess she's like a PA or some kind of maybe an assistant producer or something on some smaller films, and she's berating a child for not being
she's like, we're not using fake tears. Think of something that will make you sad. Give me a genuine.
Yeah. And then the mother steps in and she starts don't fight for him. Let him figure this out.
Yeah. This kid's got to, deal with this now. Yeah. And, this hag is telling me to not talk to her kid. I'm sorry, you called me a hag?
Yeah. Then the director has to step in and basically fire her.
Yeah.
And we see the director is listen, I love your passion, but you've got to chill and compromise. And we later learned that the wife, who plays the makeup artist now in the One Coat of the Dead, is also like she was an actress,
Yes.
but she has since retired.
Yes.
Because she also took things too seriously, too passionately even, and would get very carried away, which happens while they're filming the movie and is why she attempts to kill Chinatsu in the film.
We didn't hear about that until
no, we don't.
During the movie.
We don't put it together until the third act, which
Yeah.
is great. And it also explains why she just pops up suddenly after she's supposed to be dead.
Yeah.
And just goes, "What's going on?" and then lays back down.
Yeah.
It's so good. And then seeing it also helps explain the incredibly awkward scene where she's attacking Ken or Ko.
Yeah.
And he literally yells to stop the camera.
Yeah, that's right. No, keep filming.
Yeah. And then like the camera just zooms in on Chinatsu, who's like freaking out, but like taking a protracted scene of just screaming.
Yeah. I'm acting.
It's great.
Fuck.
Yeah, so the movie's like a small puzzle. We're just slowly like, we see the finished product first. And then the second act is,
how did we get here?
Right. It's Tack getting hired on to make this film. And at first he laughs it off and goes, "This is a joke, right?" And they're like, "No, we want you to do this." And he's like, "Oh, fuck. Okay." And so his wife reads the script. His daughter hears about it, and all these different pieces come together. He brings in, his old reliable actor that he likes, the guy that is an alcoholic and he's trying to get over it. He hires his daughter's favorite actor, who's like this up and coming pretty boy.
He didn't hire him. The studio hired him because remember when
he didn't have any influence on it.
He had no influence on it.
I thought
because
he saw that his daughter liked him and decided to get him involved. Okay.
He'd went to the studio, and they were like, "You're doing this, right?" And then when he went home and they had the script, if I can't remember.
Did they have like a lookbook of like different actors maybe, and that he picked him out of that? Is that why?
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Because
I'm remembering that scene now.
I could have sworn that he was on TV before things were picked up, and he was like, "Oh, my next thing, I'm going to be on television, and it's going to be bloody."
Yeah.
And I assumed he had already gotten the part before, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering the two scenes.
I feel like I might be misremembering this too, but I feel like he hired him because his daughter his daughter was into him and he wanted to get her interested in the film.
Yeah.
Which works too.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, there's all kinds of little things that start coming together. And then of course he realizes like two of the lead actors,
the person who's supposed to be now and
the director are like flirting, and like he thinks they're having an affair. And of course it's why they get into a car accident on the way to the shoot.
The day of, yeah.
Yeah. And so the director of the film has to now play as the director.
Yes.
And his wife, who knows the script very well because she's read it over 100 times, has to play the makeup artist. It's what a great film. We're just slowly piecing things together. And even when you can kind of see it coming, it's still great seeing it pay off.
Yeah.
And then the third act of the film is the entire film
played again,
being made in front of us, and it's slightly different.
And we're pulled back a little bit just to see what's going on.
There's a camera filming a camera that's also filming another camera, technically. Yes. It's so good. And then as the credits are rolling, like the actual credits of the film, as it's actually ended, we see like a GoPro that's strapped to the cameraman that filmed the original first 30-minute, film within the film, the first film within the film. First act of the movie, we see the cameraman's point of view as he's filming with another camera. And that version is ever so slightly different than the one that we saw them film later, but we can see why. And also for the final crane shot, instead of a human pyramid, he just climbs up a stepladder. That was the best payoff of watching the whole credits too.
Oh man, I didn't watch all of them because I was just like, oh, that's a neat little touch. I don't need to watch this. It's 12 o'clock at night. I need to go to sleep.
You were up late. Yeah. No, I had such a good time.
Yeah,
watching
I did a back to back. I watched Martyrs and then I watched this.
An insane double feature.
Yeah, it was a whiplash almost.
Well, at least I would have done it that way too, because then you want to cool off with the lighter movie like this. Yeah, you don't end with you don't walk out of the theater wanting to kill yourself.
Yeah. You don't want to go to sleep thinking, man, what happens if somebody just abducts me from my house and starts beating the shit out of me until I see God? Would not be fun.
New fear unlocked.
But yeah, so this was a neat film. Notable things that I liked about it. Actually, I think the majority of what I liked about this movie happens in the third act when they're redoing the movie and you see all of the goofery that's happening. Yep. You know, like having to find the alcoholic, dragging him out, making him look bloody, and that's now you understand why he's making weird hand poses.
Why he moves so weird, yeah. Why all the actors like have some scenes where they're very awkwardly like just kind of standing around or looking off into the distance. Or like just kind of trying to kill time. And it's because there's someone holding up like, not cue cards, but like they're relaying information from the director to them. Like, hey, we need stall for time. Something is wrong. Yeah. You know, like one of the actors isn't here yet or something.
And like the ever looming threat of we have to hit this button, kill the stream and pull up this image of a cow with a blue screen behind it.
The technical difficulties card, I think is what they were waiting to cut to. But they were like, no, keep going. Oh, also, I forgot the main cameraman gets injured about halfway through.
Yeah, and they have to swap into his assistant.
Yeah, it's when the camera just falls to the ground. And it seems planned, well, it technically does, but also it seems planned because most of the action is in the frame for a while.
Yeah.
But then people in the booth watching are like, wait, everything's off screen now. What's going on? And we cut to the cameraman laying in the ground in pain.
Got smacked in the face.
When the assistant cinematographer decides like, who has been like kind of, she's a young woman and she's been kind of shooting ideas to the main director of cinematography.
Yeah.
They don't say their titles. I'm just assuming this, by the way. But she's like, hey, what if we did like a bunch of quick zooms? Wouldn't that be cool? And he's like, I don't know. That's cheesy. I'm not going to do that.
And
she decides I have to pick up the camera now and fill in. And she also starts doing the quick zooms.
Wouldn't it be cool if I did this?
Yeah. And then it cuts to like the president of the network and she's like, oh, this is great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Every time there's like some sort of dumbass gag that it cuts to the lady who pitched the whole idea and a group of executives being like, oh yeah, this is like pretty realistic horror, isn't it? The tension's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Every time there's like a happy accident in the film, we cut to the network president just eating it up. And she's like, oh, this is wonderful. What a great idea this was,
Yeah. Oh man. I'm trying to think of like other. Oh, I love the. I don't know if he's like a germaphobe, but the dude who gets the shits. And it because like watching the the first third of the movie, he's just sitting in the background, not doing anything.
He's very awkward. Yeah, and I even remember like I pointed out to my wife, I'm like, that guy's still like, there in the scene, and they're being attacked by zombies, and it's because we find out later that he has very sensitive stomach and he just has to shit so bad. And there's a really awkward point where he tries to walk out of the building. And the director just interrupts him. He's like, what are you doing? You can't go out there. And then he just throws him outside and he gets attacked by zombies.
So good.
It's so good. And then, oh my God.
And they have to bloody him up while he's shitting.
Right. As he's shitting just out in the open, they're like, you have to put the zombie makeup on him now. There's no time. And he's like crying as it's happening.
I love it. I love all the people falling down on accident too. Like there was I think it was either the makeup artist or like another sound person. They're chasing the actors around the corner and she just fucking eats shit.
Well, I think when they're leaving the van and then they go to that like underground like walkway for a moment, I think I don't know if the cameraman was supposed to stumble and fall there.
Yeah.
It almost looks like an accident and then they just recreate it again, I think.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think that's what happened. I don't know. It's not explained, but
it was funny because she just fucking just flops on the ground and then gets up and like, oh God, I gotta keep going.
And the other zombie doesn't pay attention. They just kind of go around the zombie real fast while it happens.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Some really funny stuff in there, but is there anything else to say about this movie? It's a short movie.
It is short. It's very enjoyable. Yeah. It's a fun party watch. You could put this on with like a group of friends.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. And it's, it's not that deep. It's a film it is, I will say this, it's by the third act that its themes come together because it's not a horror movie. It's a movie about passion, and making
and teamwork,
art from mediocrity, maybe, because like the director butts heads with the producer, the very suave guy with long hair.
Yeah.
And, because he's trying to be like, hey, listen, This isn't art, it's TV. Is
That's
like
right,
he
keeps
says that
saying
like
that.
2 or 3 times to him.
Yeah.
And he's just like, okay, yeah, you're right. But then his daughter is like, fuck
Fuck
that.
that, yeah.
Like, make something with this, you know? And that's why they just decide, you know what? Yeah, let's go over the top. Let's fucking do it. Like, we can make this work. And they make whatever, you know, whatever thing they need to make happen instead of, you know, trying to make it shittier, you know? Like, they're not going to just half-ass it. Like, they do the best with what they can.
They go all the way.
Yeah.
They go plus ultra. That's an anime reference.
Of course it is. My Hero Academia.
Oh my god, you got it. Holy shit. Oh yeah, that's because you play Fortnite.
That's not why I know it. I know it because my wife really likes it.
Oh, okay.
Are you familiar with the film Be Kind, Rewind?
Yes, I am aware of it.
You've not seen it?
I've not seen it, and the reason being is because oh wait, maybe I did see it. I can't remember if I have watched it or not, but I remember the premise already being explored in the Amanda Show.
Really?
Yeah, the Amanda Show had Block Blister.
Yeah.
And Block Blister, they would recreate all of the big movies, but as themselves. And it wasn't because...
Wait. Was it a ripoff? Like,
No, the Amanda Show came out, had that skit before Be Kind Rewind.
That's what I mean. Did Michael Gondry rip it off?
I don't know. I have no idea. I know the premise for Be Kind Rewind is all of the movies get ruined because of acceptance.
Jack Black and Q-Tip work at like a movie rental store, and they like fucked up a bunch of videotapes, and so they don't get caught and get in trouble. They like make a bunch of like home movie versions. They call them like Sweeted, I think it's called.
Yeah,
they make a bunch of like improvised like home movies with like really like shoestring ass budgets. Like they're just using props that are clearly not real to like just make like the most famous scenes of these movies, and they like put them on VHS tapes and rent them out,
and people start liking them.
But and like obviously people don't fall for it, but they think it's really cute, and it becomes like a huge hit.
Yeah,
and so like it's just an excuse in the movie for them to have a bunch of scenes of them like doing sweeted versions of like, you know, famous movie scenes essentially.
Yeah.
So the Amanda Show did
the Amanda Show, the whole premise was it was an off-brand blockbuster called Block Blister.
Right.
And all of the workers there, so Amanda, Drake Bell, and the guy who's playing their dad, are all Eastern European, generic Eastern European. So they're like...
Swedish?
No, they're not Swedish. Like
Okay.
like Russian or Polish, you know, that kind of stuff. And people would be like, yo, I came in here and I rented this movie, Harry Potter, and it's nothing like what I saw in theaters. And they're like, oh, no. It's you did not rent Harry Potter, you rented Henry Peter. Yeah. You know, and then like they play a clip from it, and it's like the two kids, and they're dressed up like, you know, whatever it is that they're doing. They're acting a famous scene from The Thing.
Yeah.
But it's all like said terribly, acted terribly, because it's just two, you know, Eastern European kids acting. Right. And then the catchphrase of the skit would be, "It's better, much better." Like all of them would say that shit, you know.
Oh my God.
And then like the person would get pissed off and walk out, and another person would come in, and they'd do like 2 or 3 videos.
Right. And and they were just excuses to play like parodies of like
like Men
movies.
in Black or whatever.
Yeah, they do Men in Black and Be Kind Rewind.
Yeah, I don't know if they actually did Men in Black, but there's a possibility that they did. And they did like there was like 4 or 5 skits of that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild.
I liked the Amanda Show. I watched it a lot.
I need to do a deep dive now and find out.
Yo, after this is over with, you absolutely do pull up at least one clip, and you're going to be like, I cannot believe that this existed before Be Kind Rewind.
That is wild. Well,
I remember advertisements popping up and be like, the Amanda Show did that first.
Yeah. Well, I bring that up because that movie reminds me of this film, where it's about like, it's like a cutesy movie that is an excuse to just be like, hey, isn't film great? You know?
Yeah. No, I get it.
And I'm not even that big of a Michael Gondry fan, but I remember thinking
who is that?
Cute.
We've got a lot of time too, so like, I mean, do a deep dive.
Don't point it out.
We can talk about other stuff too. We don't have to just talk about this. We can talk about other Japanese movies that we enjoyed, or like how this ties into any of the Dead movies.
Oh, it's purely just because it's a zombie film. In Japan, it was called Don't Stop Filming.
I love that. That's fantastic. They should have just kept it like that.
Yep. Well, it's even in the film.
Yeah,
the film within the film within the film is called One Cut of the Dead. It's all over the scripts and the T-shirts.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Mike, you asked me about Michael
Gondry. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is.
The Jim Carrey movie,
Liar Liar?
No, where he gets like an experimental thing done so that he can erase his memories.
Oh,
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless
Mind. Yeah, that was him.
Damn, that was in stereo. Yes, that's Michael Gondry, right?
Oh, okay,
Let me-
okay.
Hold on,
I
let me double
really
check this
liked-
before I get a lot of shit.
Yeah, the comments are going to be so mean to you. I like that movie. That movie was fun.
Right, that's the movie that everybody knows.
knows. Yeah. So hold on, he didn't do Scanner Darkly, did he?
No,
No, I remember those movies came out around the same time.
that was him.
Who?
Eternal Sunshine.
Okay.
Scanner Darkly was Richard Linklater, and I knew that.
Oh, well, you really did know that.
I really like Richard Linklater.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, my paper.
You don't need it.
Yeah, I'm done. Richard Linklater did the Before. I guess it's called. No, it's called the Before trilogy. Before Sunrise, Before Sunset.
Those movies are so good. Have you watched all of them?
I own them all. I have not watched them.
Okay, Jared, you are doing yourself. You are doing.
We're doing a before month.
Yes. No.
We have to.
I've seen all three.
Damn, I didn't know you were a big fan of those things.
Movies. No, hold on. Here's the reason why, right?
Yeah.
So when
I never would have guessed you either. Yeah.
I know, right? So here's the thing: when you have been in a relationship with somebody, for a very long time, when you are in a relationship very young, right, and you get married youngish or whatever, you've been with this person for a very long time, you may have a way of seeing things that aren't quite realistic, like unrealistic ideas of what a relationship is supposed to be like.
Jaded, even, would you say?
No, I wouldn't say jaded.
Okay.
I would say like, you grow up watching Disney movies, so you think, once you've married somebody, it's happily ever after, or things are really easy. Relationships, if they're the right relationship, it's going to be smooth sailing forever. And that's not the case. That's not the case for any human being on Earth. And those movies depict relationships and growing up in a relationship and dealing with just life and all of the experiences that you share with somebody in a realistic way. And I think that that's really important. I think that the way that those three movies depict two people in love and how they grow with each other is beautiful, and just I think more people should see it, or more movies should, instead of doing this like how you say, I'm at a loss for words for what the term is, but rosy cherry coating, whatchamacallit,
Hindsight's 2020, rose tinted glasses.
Yeah, all the stuff. Yeah, cliche here, but movies that portray relationships as this like easy thing to do, or cherry coating what it's like to be married, is doing the populace a disservice. Like, I understand, you want to go to a movie and you want to feel good at the end of it, and you want to not really tackle like difficult themes,
right?
But if more movies did what those three movies do, I think that we would have I'm not saying we would have a smaller divorce rate, but I think that people would be more open to having a realistic look at how things really happen. Yeah. So those movies are good.
Yeah.
I like them.
I'm very excited to watch them. I bought like the Criterion box set of all three when it was on sale one day, knowing that like Courtney and I are gonna watch these one day. Like I know them to be great films. And I love Linklater, even though I haven't seen what's maybe his most important like set of films.
Which are the three.
The Before trilogy. But he also made Dazed and Confused. Anyway, I love Richard Linklater. Yeah. Even though I haven't seen the Before trilogy, what is arguably like probably his most famous set of films anyway. But he also did Dazed and Confused. Yeah. The movie about like what it's like growing up in the 70s that famously like Matthew McConaughey like blew up from.
Right. That's the all right.
I mean, he does that in like every movie, but I'm pretty sure he does
that's
it in
where
that.
It came from, yeah.
But he's like, some of his best lines in that movie are like, be a lot cooler if you did.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the really creepy like thing I love about teenage or high school girls.
They always stay the same age, or I get older, but they stay the same age. So fucking shit like that.
But he also did one of his early films was Waking Life, and it is filmed very similarly to Scanner Darkly, where it's rotoscoped.
Okay.
But it's just a series of interviews with people about like what they think about life and dreams. And
this guy is so cool. He seems like
I agree, Will.
he's like
I'm so glad you said
rooted
it.
in reality.
But yeah, it's a very strange film that he made just interviewing people.
Mhm.
I think you would like Waking Life because Richard Linklater was very big in the Austin scene back in the day in the early 90s.
Mhm.
And do you know who else was very famous in Austin as like a underground provocateur,
No,
free thinker guy?
who?
And was friends with Richard Linklater?
Who?
Alex Jones.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, dead serious.
Are they friends still?
No.
Okay,
So
I
he's
can't
gone
imagine.
like he was not.
I know he wasn't always
Like,
the way that he was.
No,
yeah.
he was just like a weirdo, like a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Who like had
Would
a lot
go
of things
to-
to say and had like a really cool radio voice.
Yeah, go to the Mothman Grove and see where a bunch of elite men are fucking other men. They're all gay.
Well, no, so he's in two different Linklater movies,
Uh-huh.
and he's just he's also in
He's in
Scanner Darkly, I
Darkly,
believe. Yeah, and he's just like a raving lunatic that's like speaking out against the government
Mhm.
because that's kind of what he was.
Yeah.
And then he went like all right, like
Yeah.
far right of field, which of course, as you know, is now just what the Republican Party is.
That's
Sorry
true.
to say it. It's honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he was really just like a fringe, like free thinker back in Austin back in the day. And so Linklater featured him in two of his movies, and he's in Waking Life, like being interviewed.
What a
and
bummer.
says like
oh,
some
I'm sure he says
weird
some
stuff.
fucking crazy stuff.
Yeah,
in
look it up on YouTube. It's hilarious.
Okay.
But anyway, that's a digression. Oh my God.
They took a freaking frog's gay.
You gotta like scream it with your whole body.
I don't want to actually hurt anybody's ears. By,
Right, I can edit
going
this
crazy.
out, but like, you will not possess me, Satan. I love all of the clips. I keep sending them to you, but it's when he's
But
like,
he's a fucking
he's in
space
a
marine.
Warhammer.
That's
Yeah,
right,
he's in a space marine
He's
suit.
a fucking Grey
because he
Knight,
looks
yeah.
like he would be one of those guys in a power suit.
Oh, 100%.
And he's just screaming about demons and shit.
I will eat your ass. That guy's great. I hate him so much.
Oh God.
We were talking about One Cut of the Dead, but I mean, I know there's not much to talk about.
Nah. Linklater's great though. He also did Boyhood, which took 14 years to make.
Because the kid grows up.
Yeah.
Isn't that
They
kid-
actually shot it like at multiple periods of this kid's life as he was growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
Took 14 years to make.
dude, he's so cool.
Yeah, he's
I love
really
it.
cool. Yeah. He did Where'd You Go, Bernadette, which I always wanted to watch. I missed that one.
Never heard of that one.
Anyway, Linklater's great. Check him out. He's getting the debaser seal of approval.
Yeah, he is. We both like him. Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, Will, the Writers Guild strike is
Probably going to be done.
should hopefully be over by now.
Yeah.
If all things go well.
Mhm.
I don't know where I'm going with that.
Oh, cool. Because we're almost done with
we're
almost done with the episode. We should. Oh, we're almost done with October too.
Yeah, we have one episode left.
Mhm.
We're doing Talk to Me next
Yes.
week. Yeah, let's just go right into that.
let's
We're
just go
doing
right
Talk to Me next week.
Yes.
So everyone get ready to watch that. It's by A24, which is not
Not struck
a
work.
Struck production company, so it's okay.
Mhm.
And also, it is technically an international. It's Australian.
It's
right?
Australian.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it meets our standards in two different ways.
Done by Raka Raka.
Oh, is that the production company?
No, but
Or
that's
those are the guys?
the YouTubers.
The YouTuber guys,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
the name of their channel.
Oh, I keep. Okay, we probably shouldn't call them YouTubers because
But they're no longer YouTubers.
they are now bona fide filmmakers.
Not only are they bona fide filmmakers, but I'm going to be watching them very closely from this
Yeah.
point forward because that movie is fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Finally.
I can't wait for you to see it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, have you seen any other Japanese horror movies? Is there any other ones that come to mind that you've seen?
Japanese? No, not lately.
Not lately.
Yeah.
None of them are that great. Like the ones I can think of are Ichi the Killer, which I would not recommend
Nope.
you watch.
Nope.
It's not. I watched it twice. The first time I kind of remember thinking like, wow, that was pretty crazy.
You
What a
don't say
crazy movie.
kawaii.
Yeah, it was kowai, which means scary
Oh.
instead of kawaii.
Oh, okay. You just lapsed in the Japanese for a minute there. Forgot
Yeah.
where you were.
Yeah, that's what it was. No. But that like I remember watching that movie and being like, oh, that's pretty good. But I was like 17.
Yeah.
And I misremembered so much. And when we ended up watching it again for
Wait, were you there?
I was
At the famous incident.
yes
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were there
I
because
was
I
there.
heard about it secondhand.
Oh,
and I
man.
felt mildly responsible. Okay. let's back up for the listener.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. See, good. We have
a story to
here's
tell.
content.
Okay, so I knew Itchy the Killer from when I was like 17 too. I think I saw it on because that was a
you could get it
edgelord.
on Netflix when Netflix was still sending out DVDs.
That's how I watched it.
Yeah, that's how I watched it too.
I think that or I torrented it. I don't remember which.
Yeah,
but I watched it and was like, whoa, what a crazy ass movie. And I think I watched it with our friend Wes.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
No, because I don't think I knew you at the time.
I don't think so. Yeah.
But I think I watched it with Wes, and we were like, "Wow, that movie was crazy." And then, like 10 years later, maybe a little less, he like
we were doing 13 days of Halloween or whatever, where we watched 13 horror movies for October, and we rated them, and we had like a group of us that were doing it,
and like one person each nominated like one film, right? And that's how you were like doing it. And then I'd overheard that Wes chose Itchy the Killer, and I remember thinking, wow, didn't think he liked it that much, like that doesn't seem like his kind of movie because it's very extreme.
He misremembered.
Right.
And I misremembered too.
Apparently everyone who had already seen it before didn't remember how crazy it is.
Yes.
Like there is some fucked up shit in that movie.
Yeah.
And so when everyone's watching it, it apparently goes very poorly, and Wes is extremely embarrassed.
Yes. We ended up turning it off, and he apologized to everybody. But it was actually really funny. Like the whole story is hilarious because like there were people in that group that do not watch a lot of horror movies
or shit like that. I don't even know if that's a horror movie as much as it is like a fucked up like thriller, basically, right?
I don't know. It was pretty wild.
Is it a horror movie?
I have no idea. I haven't. It's been like 5 years since I've seen it. That one I'm not going to watch again.
No.
What what's really funny is I've used that group to try and get to people watch murder. but I've always told people when I put it on there once.
Yeah.
I told everybody, don't bother. It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
I've got like one person in that group that wanted to watch that. But yeah, what a great story. Anyways, so yeah, that's one of them. Have you ever seen The Audition?
The Audition or just Audition?
Or is it? I think it might be Audition.
I think I've seen the scenes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because isn't there one where it's near the end?
Yes, it is. It is like the last 10 minutes of the movie. Putting all the stuff in the... They're like doing acupuncture, but it's definitely not acupuncture.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
I have not seen the whole film. Because, I went through that phase where I'm like, I just got to see these.
Yeah, Mike showed me that one.
And then with YouTube, you can just like see these scenes for a while. And that's how I watched some of those movies, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like I once got invited over to a friend's house, and he wanted to show me the movie Hatchet, which is like a return to like 80s slasher flicks.
Okay.
But it was done in like the 2000s.
Kind of like how X.
Yes.
Yeah.
But more trashy.
Okay.
Yeah. And not like that one's at least a little arty, but intentionally a little trashy.
Right.
No, Hatchet was just like, let's just do the goriest slasher flick we can do with like a big dude that just like rips up teenagers, with like a belt sander and stuff,
Oh, that sounds rad.
It might be up your alley then if it sounds like it.
A belt sander? He kills people with a belt sander?
He kills a girl with a belt sander and it's nasty.
That's fucking hardcore.
But it's like in the way that like it's cheesy gory, not like...
Oh.
You know what I mean,
Come back to me whenever A24 does it.
It's in the spirit of Friday the 13th movies.
I gotcha.
Is what I mean. That's definitely what it's inspired by. But anyway, I was brought over to a friend's house. He's like, we're going to watch Hatchet. And then what he meant by we're going to watch Hatchet is I'm going to fast forward to all the kill scenes and Hatchet. Because this was before you could just watch the YouTube like super
the
clip.
quick reel.
And he's just fast forwarding this DVD to all the scenes he wanted to show.
Tight. That's good shit.
And he was famous for doing this with a lot of movies too. Because I would talk to like his brother later and be like, did you watch that movie with him? And he's like, yeah, well, yeah. And what I mean by that is he fast forwarded to his favorite scenes.
We love it. I love that stuff.
I love him.
You've seen Tetsuo, right? I think we kind of talked about it a little bit when we were talking about Akira, but did you actually watch the Tetsuo the Machine Man or whatever?
Was there a remake? Okay.
I've seen the black and white one.
Is that the original from like the 80s or something?
I think so, yeah.
But then didn't Takashi Miike remake it?
I think so, yeah.
I don't remember if I saw
seen,
that one.
I have
or the
not
original.
seen the remake.
I've seen one of them and was Horrified.
Yeah, Horrified.
I watched it with a friend who watches like weird movies, and we were both like,
Yeah.
"Wow, I wasn't expecting that." One and B didn't like it.
Yeah, I watched it with Mike. He came over.
Yeah, that seems about all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, dude, that I don't understand what it is about Japanese horror that is just like so out there.
Yeah.
They've really just
It's just visually extreme.
Yeah, but like
for the sake of it.
Usually
yeah.
the budget's not great, so
No, yeah.
so it looks fucking cheesy and shit too.
Yeah. The same friend I've watched The Bullet Man with, Tetsuo, I mean, I also watched El Topo with. It's a Jodorowsky movie. This is a bit reductive, but the easiest way to explain Jodorowsky is he is like a 70s Spanish version of David Lynch.
Okay.
But he had surprisingly big budgets, especially for the time. He made some very insane movies like Holy Mountain, El Topo, and I'm forgetting one more, but he almost made Dune in the 80s.
Oh, are you serious?
And then Dino De Laurentiis stepped in and said, "This is getting way too expensive and out of hand. I'm firing you." And he eventually brought on David Lynch to replace him. And then David Lynch had to, save what he could of the production and made what was 1984's Dune.
Some people love that.
Some people love it, but it is also much derided, I think, too.
I've never seen it, and I have no interest in
I've seen it on TV, not in full, like uncut, you know what I mean? But it doesn't hold up now because, I mean...
Well, yeah, because we have Dune.
Yeah, the Denis Villeneuve. Man, I stutter on that so much. I'm not good with French Canadian names. I got to get better with those.
It's all good, man. Cool. Japanese horror is fucking crazy. You should check out this movie. Shudder is $7.99 a month. You could just or torrent it. Who cares?
But Shudder is a pretty good streaming service.
Yeah, they've got some other good movies. So Psycho Gorman comes to mind. I haven't seen it yet, but I've been told many times that I need to watch it. You
haven't seen that?
No, and I know it's right up my alley because
Yeah.
like it's what French Canadian or just Canadian. It's a Canadian movie. It's done in the same vein as Turbo Kid, and I loved Turbo Kid. So
and Rich is in it.
Rich Evans is in it.
Yes.
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh shit! Yeah, I gotta watch that.
Like you won't know it's him, but you'll hear him.
Yeah, so we've just resubbed to Shudder, so I'm gonna end up watching it this time around. And then I want to say that there was like one or two other movies on there that were really good. But I think The Void is on there right now. Have you ever seen The Void?
No, but I've heard about it.
Yeah, it's like a Cthulhian in a way.
Oh.
And it's got a lot of stuff that is very reminiscent of Cronenberg and It.
Ooh.
Not It, sorry, The Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of those types of creatures.
Well, I know on the Criterion Channel, another boutique streaming service that I personally love.
I know you love it.
They're doing a lot of like Halloween stuff right now.
Right.
And they have what I think is a very underappreciated, underrated movie. It was, I would argue, maybe the last good John Carpenter movie. It's just really mean, but when you look at his like IMDb, you'll be like, "Oh yeah."
You've told me
it really dropped off after.
Yeah,
this.
you told me that he has done a lot of stinkers.
Yeah, especially in the 90s and post.
Yeah.
But this was his like last good movie, and it stars Sam Neill.
Okay, you've got my interest peaked.
You've seen it.
I have.
I can't remember that fucking name.
Oh, is it In the Mouth of Madness?
Yes, it is.
Dude, that
In
movie
the
fucking rules.
Okay, let me get a clean take so I can fix this.
No, you're good. Oh, I love that movie so much.
It's In the Mouth of Madness. I love that movie. I watched it as a kid.
You know what's funny is I had never seen it until COVID. Actually,
That's right. You told me this,
it's
and I was
on
so
Shudder.
excited for you.
Yeah, it was on Shudder.
Oh wow!
And me and I just watched the review that Red Letter Media did of
That's
it.
right. Yeah, because Jay likes it, right?
Yeah, and I was like, "Fuck it, let's do it." It's got Sam Neill.
Yeah.
Red Letter likes it, even though they don't like The Last Jedi. You know, I guess I'll forgive him for it. I was like, "Fuck it, let's do it."
I forgot that's when I quit watching them
because they just wouldn't stop with the joke.
Yeah,
it just got tired. But yeah, that that movie fucking ruled. I
Yeah.
love that movie.
Yeah, yeah.
So good.
Yeah, it is a great like 90s horror classic. And like it's cheesy in the ways that like John Carpenter and Stephen King movies can be cheesy. So
yeah,
like
but
it's
they're like allowed
enjoyable.
to. Yeah.
Yeah. And like it's so great. And like it's doing things that like horror movies don't do.
Yeah.
With like it's like invoking a lot of like Lovecraftian things.
Yep.
And like, oh, I love how he keeps looking down that alley and seeing like a cop beating up a guy. And then like the last time he sees him, the cop has this like horrific face.
He's got like
and
fish
shit.
faces.
Yeah. There's like the kid on the bicycle that's trying to get out of the town.
Georgie,
And
my boy.
Well, and the last time he looks at him, he's an old man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that boy is somebody famous.
Oh, is it?
This is a kid on a bicycle that they keep passing while they're trying to drive
Gotcha, that's
into
my
the
bad.
town.
Yeah.
And then they eventually end up hitting him with their car.
Mhm.
And she sees him then, and he's like an old man all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's Hayden Christensen.
Oh, are you fucking serious?
Yeah. It was like one of his
Oh my
early
God.
roles before he got, hired for Star Wars.
Well, same
obviously.
thing with he was in a R.L. Stein, like a Goosebumps.
Oh, Goosebumps show?
He was in a Goosebumps show
Oh,
too, and his
wow.
acting was just as wooden.
Oh, come
then
on.
as
now.
hey, I love him. I do. He's just not a great actor. Even now when they've brought him back for like the Star Wars shows, I love seeing him. I do. He's still not great. Him trying. I know. Well, you probably. I can't talk about something that's going on right now.
So
Yeah.
I stumble on that name so bad.
I'm not allowed to talk about it, right?
No, you're struck.
Yeah. Okay.
Your guild is striking now.
Yeah.
You are like, you're not prohibited, but we are trying to
I know,
make it a point
we're
not
trying
to
best
promote these things.
Yeah, so like I'm not.
Are
gonna
you
talk about it.
criticizing it?
I'm not criticizing the show. I like the show.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
criticizing some of his performance in it.
I was say if you're being critical, it's okay.
Oh, well,
That's how a lot of podcasts are getting around this right
well,
now.
in that
actually.
case, so one of the things that happens in that show, and if you have been watching Ahsoka, just turn off the podcast. Thank you for listening.
don't get
appreciate it.
spoiled. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so they bring back Hayden Christensen. Ahsoka has been
Yeah.
like,
I mean, you can't be on the internet and not know by now.
Right.
I've seen it 1,000
Yeah.
times.
she's close. She's on the verge of death. She goes to what is essentially like a sunken place for Force users. And there's Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker, and he's like, "I've got one more lesson to teach you, and it's called survive." And
It's called fan service.
fan service, exactly. But like they go back to when Ahsoka was introduced, which is the Clone Wars, and they did a live action version of the Clone Wars.
Wow.
They have the girl from the Barbie movie. She's a young Ahsoka, and you know the girl who called Barbie a fascist in the Barbie movie.
Oh, the girl's daughter.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She's Ahsoka,
Yeah.
the kid Ahsoka.
So, but wait, Dave Filoni is just like
Yes.
reshooting a live action version of his Clone Wars.
Just for the scene.
Okay.
But anyways, it is difficult for Hayden Christensen to then try to act like the guy who voice acted Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars, because that guy had so much personality.
Yeah.
Because he had to. He was emoting with his voice.
Right.
And Hayden Christensen cannot fucking do that.
Damn.
He's unable to do that. He does his best.
Yeah.
He gives it, the old college try, and I can commend him for it. But the Clone Wars show, like, makes Anakin an enjoyable and likable character, whereas him in the movies is just very wooden and stiff. He has so many good quips. He's almost like Spider-Man, but with a lightsaber, because he's insulting you while he's fighting you. He's charismatic, and that's not what Hayden Christensen is. He's not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's that.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. I like him. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He
God
doesn't
bless
deserve
him, but,
the hate
like,
that he gets.
No. God.
And I know, like, the fans are starting to like appreciate him as he is.
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Just like I forget his name. The guy that played Jar
Jar
Jar.
Binks. Oh fuck. I knew his name.
He's had like a complete 180.
Yeah.
In the public eye.
Yeah. He definitely did not deserve any
No.
of the hate
it's
that he
not.
got.
Jar Jar is not his fault.
No, it's not. It's George Lucas's
It's
fault,
George
because he
Lucas.
went too far in a few places.
Yeah. To quote him. But it is like poetry. It all rhymes.
It does rhyme. It's true.
Well, I think that's about it.
That's Jar Jar.
Wait, what?
Hey.
Hey.
That's Jar Jar. That's chatting.
I just want to get another look.
I just want to get another look. I saw you sent me that clip finally, and I was like, "Oh, I finally get it. I understand what he's fucking saying because I have no idea what you're saying, Jared. You just like mumble it out."
Oh,
Hey, I just want to get another look.
just want to get another look. That's how he says it. It's accurate. Just want to get another look.
All right, end it.
We've really lost it. I'm sorry. You
End
need
this,
to go home.
end this fucking episode.
Go home to Haley and go,
Hey, I just want to get another look.
just want to get another look.
I love your nose. I want to roll a coin down it. Oh no!
This is staying in now.
Oh no! I'm sorry. I pissed myself on the stage. I need you to get me out of here. Hey,
I just want to get another look. Well, folks, before we lose our minds, thank you for listening. You can find our show on social media by searching for @DebaserPod. Also, we're on YouTube now.
yeah, we are on YouTube.
Just go on YouTube and look up Debaser Podcast, and you'll find us for sure.
Hey, I just want you to look us up on YouTube.
You know, you're enunciating too well. You have
Oh
to-
fuck! I can't do. I can't do.
You
much
know,
better. Hey, I just want you to look us up on YouTube. Look us up on YouTube.
I'm Jared Rusk, and you can find me on Instagram at solid_slack. Will,
I'm
Where
not plugging anything.
not even pocket_infinity
Bro,
on
just
Instagram?
in the fucking episode.
Okay.
Before I devolve into insanity.
Well, for my co-host Will Taylor, I'm Jared Rusk. Thank you for listening, everybody.
I love you. Goodbye.
Debaser is hosted by Will Taylor and Jared Rusk, with production by Jared Rusk. Want to email the show? Send it to podcast@debaserpod.com. Want to help us out? Please leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice, especially Apple Podcasts, and tell a friend to listen to Debaser. Thank you for listening, and take care out there.